Welcome back to Jaycee Reacts and our fourth episode of An Architect Plays City Skylines. So, it looks like we've had some minor success. I mucked around with some settings on the Tree Anarchy mod last night and it has cleaned up. There are no trees in the middle of roads, they're in the middle of schools. I'm playing around with it last night. I had like 5 or 6 trees in the middle of this football field. It looks much better. So this is I think it's a relatively new mod. I know it's a repurpose of an old mod that gave you unlimited trees on your map and allowed you to replace trees, for instance, that are part of an asset. Say, I think, so this tree here, no, these trees in here are part of this asset. So you could use the Tree Anarchy mod to replace them if you so desired. I never bothered with it, but I have always had it on just in case, because the other thing it lets you do is push trees into areas that the AI or the game considers to be occupied by something else. So I could put a tree, for example, right in the middle of this backyard, which without the Anarchy mod, I don't think you could do. So it looks like it's cleaned up, and that's a massive positive. Just wondering, I don't like seeing this on perfectly flat ground. Am I just being too banal? Probably. It's flat. It's supposed to be that way. Let's leave it alone. All right. So in our last episode, I mentioned scaling, and I've talked about it a couple of times. The issues I have with the game scaling in particular, in that it doesn't handle it at all. The scaling in the game is very ordinary and very mixed. Is a better way to put it. Not ordinary. It's very mixed and inconsistent, which is problematic. So I'm just gonna flatten this up a little bit here. Right. So, for example, the schools. Now, I'm pretty sure the default school comes with the game. This one, I think it's this one. Pretty sure in the default, in the vanilla version of the game, this has a student capacity of 250 students, which is fine in theory. An elementary school, I mean, that would only, what's that, 250 students is between 8 and 12 different classes. So that would probably just be a primary school, years 3 through 6. I think if you're including the elementary grades, which is kindergarten 1 and 2, what we'd call in Australia an infants department, you'd be up closer to your 350 to 400 students, averaging out at a class between minimum of 20, maximum of 30, and you generally have 2 to 4 classes per grade. So this school being 96 in size, I think the realistic population has gone way too far the other way. Now, I get it based on its size, which is listed here. Where is it? 780 square meters. They're saying that you'd only get 96 students into that. I think that's really harsh. That's between 3 and 5 classes. The building, although it's only, how many units are we talking? Oh, there we go. We've got a perfect outline. So it's only about 20 meters deep by, yeah, it's not massive. It's not a massive building at all. About 30 meters wide. Gee, it's small, isn't it? And it's 3 floors. 12, actually, that's 96 isn't the worst. 96 might not be totally unreasonable at all based on that. It'd be between 3 and 5 classrooms. It'd get more than only just. Yeah, I tell you what, it's not the worst, is it? When you factor in the administration all that below it. Okay, maybe I was being too harsh on the realistic population mod. 200 is definitely too many. But the problem is that in real world terms, a primary school would probably take up this entire block. It's not massive. At 8 meters a unit, we're looking at. Ah, I've got a measuring tool. I don't even need to guess. It's 140 by 70. That'll probably be roughly 140 again. It's not big at all. That is not big at all. Certainly, any half decent sized school, rural suburban school, would take up this entire block. When you factor in playgrounds and a couple of buildings, when you're housing 200 students, you'd have a little play park and sports ground and stuff in there. Just thinking about the school I went to and the school my daughter goes to, the school my daughter goes to is bloody huge. It doesn't have that many students either. The school I went to as a kid, the primary school, was next door to the high school. My mate and I used to play golf around it, which gives you a fair idea. Like we'd have, my high school had 2 football fields back to back, and you could fit easily another 4 or 5 of them that wrapped around the back of the school. Yeah, my high school was actually quite big. Now I think about it. Anyways, real world terms or not, this whole area here, that should probably be 2 buildings, the football field, and a sort of a playpen in here for a school that houses 200 students. So today I'm going to fix up these schools, both the high schools I've put down and I've only put down 3 primary schools so far. There'll need to be a fourth one up here somewhere. I know there's a proximity issue going on, but that's not the end of the world. I'm not sure if I'll keep this one as this type. I think I might put down the larger Revis High School model we've got. This will be our standard model. The Nova City High School will be the standard high school, I think. But in situations like this where I've got 2 suburbs that this might not be enough for, I do have a larger high school saved, so we might use that. So it'll be a little bit of detailing, a bit of fencing, and making the area that the school takes up a bit more realistic. I don't know if it'll be worthwhile putting down another building and just switching it off. I don't know how that will work. And with the fires and all that going on up here, I don't know how well that'll go either. But let's start there. So let's get rid of, first of all, I'm going to get rid of our zoning, and then we'll run amok with our bulldozer. All right. And let's see. So if we switching off, okay, that should be all right. That's just going to be permanently there like that, isn't it? God damn it. What if we put in a library then as part of the school area? I know it's sort of cheating in a way because it will count to. I don't have libraries available to me yet. Or we just use the one building, be done with it. No dummy buildings really that I know of. I don't use this stuff enough to know. I don't want that it's switched off icon flashing all the time. So, all right, let's reposition this. Go away. Oh, actually, let's name that first. So you are the using elementary. You are the upper Jar Jar. Oh no! Shift U brings on ultimate eye candy, obviously. Upper Jar Jar Primary School. Or maybe we'll just put Mesa Jar Jar Primary School. How rude! And we'll come up with a name for the lower one in a second. All right, come on. Let's move you to the peak point over here. Do I have the painty? Can I painty? Oh, can I not painty? I don't have landscape painting. No, really? Are you serious? Oh man, that's not cool. Please stop. I'm not looking forward to having to do that to just achieve the most basic concrete look. So all the kiddies can go and play their football. Turn this around the other way. Or we might actually run it. That's not cool at all. No, there's that. So I'd like to be able to have that sort of back here and then just paint the concrete in. Looks like I need to go and collect another mod so I can paint some concrete in and set stuff up the way I want. And then I'll be able to set fences up, and like I could just leave that little bit there of grass and put a tree in there. So, because the trees up here aren't causing me any problems at all. This is a good idea. And then just sort of concrete in this bit at the back, fill in some trees around here, put a nice little park in. What parks have we got? Parks are going to let me put down. Children and dog park, no. Children's playground, a large children's playground. Jesus, large is not a joke. Oh, okay, you don't need to be connected to the road. That's a bonus. Or do you? 8x6, 4x4, 4x4. I've got a corner here I can use. That'll work. I could just put 2 of them down. Because this is supposed to be a rich area anyway. So if I put one there, yeah, that'll work. And I just put in some little paths and stuff here. Come on. Or are you not using your imagination here, John? That. Paint all this in here. Yeah. Send your kids to the local jail. I think the ore industry, even that's a bit offensive I got. Not many. Deary me. Hedges.
Computer says no.
Not really. Rot. I think that's supposed to be wrought. Okay. It's only for aesthetics. We don't need it. Doesn't need to be perfect. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Okay, so there's our big school area. There's actually not much in the way going on in there. I'll just chuck down another big tree. Some sort of over there and another one there. Hey, good. I'd like to put down a little park or something in there, but I don't have access to them yet. So let's just go with that for now. And of course, this is all going to burn down anyway. What I am worried about is I don't have the facility to add some extra concrete. I'm going to fix up these other schools along similar lines and scale to this one. They take up a much larger space. We'll stick with the idea of that they get a football field and throw in tennis courts for the high school as well. And just try and give them like this whole sort of block of space and fence it off as an idea. All right, and I'm going to go see what I can do about this concrete. I might download that extra mod necessary. I don't want to have to put paths down everywhere just to fill in some concrete. So okay, so that's the schools done for now. Pending this one burning down. Misa Jaja,
How rude.
that's fine. So let's name this one. I'll just name it after the street, I think. So we'll just call it Scarlet Street Primary. There we go. And this one will be Mesa Jaja High School. That's fine. So we've got the one sort of school complex here. I could put a library or something down here. In fact, when they're available, I probably will put a library down here. That makes a ton of sense. Buses will stop somewhere around here as well. Again, that just makes a ton of sense. And I deleted this high school here for now. I'll put in the larger high school when it becomes available. So I got rid of the zoning for now. I'm going to make this a larger sort of park area, but this sort of square here will be the high school. I think the Regis High School I've got, I think it's quite large. I think it'll take up a fair amount of this space. So I might not be able to get the tennis courts in. It might just be the football field, but that's fine. So for now, the next step, I guess, is I'm going to move the garbage tip and our water recycling facility somewhere up here. I'll pick a height somewhere up here, I think. I don't know how I'm going to get to it. So what I was thinking as well was I might delete this and have the road come in this way and then wrap around and down and connect somewhere around here, which gets it even further away from up here and means that this road at this junction could take off. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to work that, but it would mean that we'd have a junction coming in sort of at this corner point here, and traffic could turn left to turn right into here. I actually don't mind that. It might not be a bad idea. I have no idea how I'm going to make this work. I really haven't thought this through. I'm going to mess around with some ideas here and then come back, I think. They never put the trees out. It is so broken. Like, using trees to decorate an area is such a risk. And I've got a mod in that improves the AI, and it does, unquestionably it does, because usually the way the game works is it'll send out one agent, one unit for one fire, and that truck will drive off and ignore, as it just did here, and go back to the fire station and then come back to put these out, whereas the mod will now say, right, don't drive past the fire, stop and put it out. And that truck came back and checked then. But they just keep ignoring trees, and it's unless I get choppers in, which I'm not putting down, which I don't have access to just yet anyway. It's just so fundamentally broken. Anyway, I am running out of, in fact, I have run out, not am running out, I have run out of zoned real estate space. I don't want to, particularly up here, put down high density res or low density res when I just plan on replacing it with high density stuff anyway. Got through a fair bit. We've got high schools, and I really like this little area here. It's a bit too much concrete for my liking. I might put down, because I thought that would be parking there, I might put down a few planter boxes out the front of the library, and maybe out the front of the stadium, and just green that up a little bit. But overall, this whole area here looks pretty cool. It is unfortunate that I don't understand how this is working. I have one eligible high school student in a town of 1,500 people. That just makes no sense to me at all. I've switched off the other high school. We've started building our industry. Shock horror. We'll probably get to the next level in pretty short order. If I can just grab a few more workers. Nothing really of note there. The big policies come, so let's throw out smoke detectors. The big future policies come in taxation and city planning, when you can be a big business supporter, and it makes a huge difference. This is going okay. It's doing all right. I think I might throw down another. How's this going? 30 or 46 workers? No, again, it's doing okay as well. We've only got the 2 supply units, but again, they're doing all right. I don't see the point in the larger units, to be honest. I think I'll probably just keep using the smaller tree areas, and then we'll fence all this off sort of up here somehow, somewhere. I'm not sure how that'll all work. I've sort of resolved in my mind how this is going to work over here, so that I'll lower this into it. So we'll have steps or terraces, ridiculously large terraces, but so we'll have our electricity. This will be a solar generator soon. When I get access to it, I'll delete the wind turbines. Then we'll have our forestry. We'll have a residential area down here, and then on this lower level, we'll have an industrial area. I think the residential area is going to be quite significant. It's going to be fairly large because we're going to need it. And so the only question now will be, which direction do we buy next? It's got to be one of these 2 tiles here. This will open up significantly more residential and get us started on the industry. This will open up a little bit of resi and a bit more industry. It'll also open up the other side of the river, which I don't really have a plan for yet, to be honest. I was thinking this would be our harbour. Originally, I was setting this out to be like a distribution. All my warehouses and stuff would go here. I don't know about that. Although if I'm going to put the harbour here, then maybe that should still be the case. Much to ponder I have. And I named this suburb Barrington Tops as the name of an inland tropical rainforest area in northwestern New South Wales, I think it is. It's a great camping spot anyway. I used to go there when I was a bit younger. Took a couple of girlfriends up there. Great place to go camping. A lot of fun. And I don't mean that in any lascivious way. It was just a lot of fun. And so therefore the forest just made sense to name it Barrington Forest. This road here, don't know. Again, it'll depend on which tiles are bought next. Ideally, would like to buy both of them, but that would still cut out this sort of corner here. I don't know. Don't know yet. As I said, I've got a rough idea in my head how this is going to work out, but we're just short of the 1700, which I wanted to get to last episode. I don't think I can just let this play and just rack up the population without filling in some of these zones here. I'm not going to get to 1700 without creating a new residential suburb. I'm really worried about the lack of students. That's a bit bizarre. So what's left to do in Footrot Flats? A few sort of park areas in here and connections to the main road. I am reasonably happy with how this has turned out. Having the double connector here and then feeding this up under here through a tunnel. This up here will just be basically what it is now. So I'll put all my water reclamations or recyclers and stuff up here. Waste disposal, that will probably become an incinerator. And I'm also will put down my tram hub and my bus terminal up here as well, or the bus depot. Sorry, my tram and bus depots will both go up here into this little sort of plateau thing. And I can, if necessary, I can demolish this quay wall, retaining wall, and move it back a little bit. I've got a little bit of room there to play with. I would like to get my power generation for the entire city coming from this one mountaintop, if possible. That may be a stretch, but yeah, I think we'll leave it there for now. I don't think we've got much to do to get to 1700. I think in the next episode, because it is a slow start, and I did want to get to Boomtown in my last episode, so I think in the next episode we'll hope to get to Big Town 5000, which will mean it'll be a fairly heavy building episode. All right, I think we'll leave it at that. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you in the next episode.